Welcome to this edition of Location Filmmaking, and we'll be talking about pre-production and the production process or processes. Before you embarked in or onto any film project, it is very important that you actually start to prepare before you go and do things, because good preparation will actually help you with your project and save time. So we'll be talking about different types of processes, how you go and plan your shoot, and the most important thing, which is the paperwork. So let's talk about what you need to do before you start production. What is pre-production per se? Pre-production basically is in a proper studio, it is actually a department that plays a key role in basically preparing everything that you need to do your shoot. They organize your funding, they organize your location, your transport, your meals, so on and so forth. And whatever mistakes that you may potentially do during production, it has already been thought through, or at least try to prevent it from happening during this stage of pre-production. Basically, it doesn't cost too much money to do, because it's just a bunch of people sitting down brainstorming ideas, so there is no need for cameras or equipment to do this area. And the particular process is to make sure that you can prevent unnecessary costs, because you can predict what you need to spend and what you do not need to spend. So some of these activities include development of script, how you actually sit down and change and fine-tune your script, getting funding for your film, casting, your talent, hiring additional crew, going to location scouting. Always go to location scouting before you do your film, so you know exactly where you're going and what you're going to do there. Or designing props or building sets. So these pre-production stage, you can actually get people to come and be masters at these various areas. Further activities also include preparing your props, your supplies, could be your art props, your wardrobe, what your actor's going to wear, makeup artists, hairstylists. You can also use pre-production stage to test your equipment, see whether they work properly, or to get more equipment if you don't have enough. You can also use this stage to plan for transport, your logistics, your meals, so on and so forth. So it's very important. So when you plan for your shoot, always remember that you need to take your script and break it down. So once you break down your script, you already know what's the theme, what's the genre, where you're going to find your locations, how you are going to communicate your story. All these things can be done in your pre-production stage, because you kind of foresee what the problems will be. Because if you don't plan, there's a chance that you might forget things on set, and you won't be able to capture the important moments because you'll be so caught up in your logistic planning. So when you plan for a scene, it is important for you to know how to draft a storyboard, or how to actually set up the scene so the audience can actually enjoy your scene. Here is a clip from the movie Empire Strikes Back. Let's see how the scene was shot to give you a sense of anticipation.
You are beaten. It is useless to resist. Don't let yourself be destroyed as Obi-Wan did.
So you notice that when you set up a scene, it has a variety of shots, pacing. You actually exercise various techniques of your camera movement, and whatever your camera move or don't move, it has to be there for a reason. So like the opening sequence, the camera shows an establishing shot of the area of the space station. So it should be static because we are anticipating the inevitable. You shouldn't move the camera just because you want to feel empowered to do so. And when you do move your camera, make sure you move in a way whereby the audience will be able to see the movement rather to experience the jerkiness of your technique. So how do you actually plan for all these shots to really look good? Well, the secret is that you actually must draft out your thoughts on a storyboard. In this sample storyboard, you have a blank space here for you to draw the shot size, your actor, your location, and over here you have your shot number, and over on the right where you have these lines, you write the description of the shot. This is entirely important because when you hand this piece of paper to your cinematographer and your director, they would know exactly how to direct and shoot your shot. Okay, so it looks something like this. You have a shot number, you have a rough drawing of how the shot looks like. This is a wide shot, and then you have the description, okay, of how the shot looks like. Sometimes you may have what we call very key important frame, all right, a very key scene, and the storyboard may be up to this size because they want attention to detail. So you might have various artifacts in your shot, like special effects, different masking. So you need to actually describe some of these elements, but you don't need to do so for your level. I'm just telling you. But what you do need to do for your level is that you need to do a thumbnail storyboard. When you are sitting around with your friends discussing how you're going to get your story done, do this storyboard while you are discussing, because these thumbnails, small little drawings on a piece of drawing board, will actually help you visualize your story before you actually confirm to draw this and submit this to your lecturer. On top of a storyboard, you also have what we call a floor plan. This is a top view of your scene. As you can see, this particular classroom shot, you have camera position 1, where you have actor talent F coming in the door, walking, and actor F will be going to this table here. So you have a shot, actor F walking in, and that shot is finished. Then camera shift to this position, number 2, actor walking in, might show the whole scene of here from this angle. And then camera position 3, this wide shot, can show actor F coming in, sitting here. Then camera position 4, 2 shot, camera position 5, reaction shot of student Z and maybe F coming here. You see how this is placed in terms of the numbering where your camera shot is going to be. So the floor plan is very important for you to plan where your shot is going to be in the space. Other paperwork which is very important includes your script, storyboard, floor plan, location survey checklist, performance release forms, cast and crew list, and your shooting schedule. These are the pre-production forms that you need to do and complete and show me before you go and do your final film. So a short list is a small little document that has a shot size and the description of your shot size over here. So this determines how many shots you're going to shoot for that scene in that location. And also is a checklist to see whether are you overshooting your film, that you may not be able to do it properly because you may have too many shots on that day. So it's a very good gauge. The floor plan, which I explained just now, is an overhead diagram of your camera position and your actor position so that you will be able to see whether you are crossing the line or not. Storyboard, as we discussed, they are like comic strips, drawings of your actors in the various scenes and the shot size and camera movements so that we know exactly who is going where and where. This particular form, which is available in MEL, is a performance release forms. This ensures that your actors give us permission to use his or her image in the film. When you finish everything and you're about to hand up your work, you hand up your pre-production paper, and then you add on your post-production papers too, which include your production field log, your submission checklist, and if and only if a peer evaluation if there's any discipline issues. So your project submission checklist contains all the basic information of your project, your name, contact number, signature of the core members. Also includes intellectual property rights. Did you use any music in your film? Put the music name and the person that created it there. The locations, the number of locations that you use in your whole film, please put down the address of the owner onto this list. All the crew that's in your list, additional people other than yourself, put down every single person, including the original team of 5 and then additional people. And then your actors, your talent, who are they? Put down the name, the cast number, the cast names, and whether or not you brief them the nature of the project. So these are very self-explanatory. So you must submit these forms for insurance purposes so that we know that you have actually done due diligence to your craft. So to sum up, pre-production is very, very important because it helps you to predict anything that might go wrong, helps you plan and be ready for your production, and it really is one of the best ways to avoid not only unnecessary costs but unnecessary future potential problem that may occur on set. So with that, I end today's video on pre-production.